everybody, Wagwan. Welcome to Daily Vitamin D. It's your girl D here. Remember to like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment. Today's topic is Jamaica's mandatory DNA testing at birth. So, I want to start by saying that Jamaican women, they have a history of giving children to the wrong fathers. It's also known in the culture as giving a jacket, quote unquote jacket. So, according to an article in the Caribbean National Weekly, at least 25% of Jamaican men have been a victim of paternity fraud at least once in their lifetime. And I know this is true because, almost all the men that I know, they have been either accused of being the father wrongfully or they have been given a jacket. I know this is not just something that's been made up. So I remember last year, November, in 2021, a member of parliament by the name of Heroy Clark, he proposed mandatory DNA at birth as a solution to quell domestic disputes. But, he has a point, but it also made me wonder, who gave him jacket? Or who attempted to give him a jacket? I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to be a good politician or a good member of society, trying to figure out something. Because apparently, suicide and domestic abuse, the level is, they're saying that it's due to men finding out that, oh, well, it's not my child. Which, I understand because imagine taking care of a child for how many years until you find out that it's not yours. And don't get me wrong, it not just affects men in Jamaica. We've all seen the Maury Show. Come on, guys. We've all seen the Maury Show. Women in America, everywhere. Women, I guess, I wouldn't say thoughts, but still. Women everywhere, they have been doing this since forever. But it's also affecting men in the diaspora who, when they're petitioning for their children, they have to do DNA tests before the children are able to migrate and join them, let's say in the US. It's pretty hard for them to accept it. And what happens? Because I know of people who, they started the petition, they're filing for their kids to come to America, and then when it all boils down, the DNA comes out after spending so much money, it's not their child. This affects both the child and the father, because the child is now like in an identity crisis. Who am I? So who's my father then? I've known this man as my father all my life. What do you do now? And the man, after investing so much time and emotions and, finances, it's pretty hard. And sometimes, they kill the woman, which is why the politician, Mr. Clark, was saying that maybe this would be a good idea. Because if we're getting tested at birth, it will stop a whole lot of wasteful spending. So if, let's say a mother, she doesn't know who got her pregnant. Somebody suggested that, well, maybe the mom could put the child in her name until she figures it out. And you know what's funny? Okay, here's this. A 2019 report by a company called Polygenics Consulting. It's a Jamaican DNA company. So it says that since 2015, of all the tests conducted, it showed that 70% were not the father. Jamaican woman, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come on. We have to stop this. And that's 7 out of 10. So for every 10 picnic, 7 don't belong to the man. That's not right. That is not right. That's unacceptable, ladies. And while this is alarming and it's a national issue, I'm not quite sure if it should be made into law though. Because, this has been going on since forever. And I'm sure a lot of young uncles and aunties, oh, you kind of look like Miss Mass Jim up the road. You look like Mr. Tom from that community. You don't look like your father, or your father is jet black. Why is this baby hair so curly? Jacket. And which I know some of you are going to say, oh, DNA and blah, blah, blah. Come on now. We know how it is. But anyway, it's a serious matter in the court. And even though it may be seen as humorous in the streets, it's pretty serious, guys, because the woman can be charged a maximum of $250,000, well, Jamaican dollars, or she has to do 3 months in jail. So you choose. So the minister Herod, he also states that, and I quote, it eliminates the fact that they know very well that it's the gardener who is the father of the child, but they're giving it to the bank manager who is in a better position. And this is what Mr. Clark told the Star, which is the newspaper. And you know what? He's right. He's right. A lot of the times, women know who their baby daddy is. They know, but they know that their baby daddy's broke. So sometimes it's from desperation, because if I'm with this guy, but I know he's broke, and not me, but hypothetically speaking, and you're also sleeping with a rich man from another neighborhood, who are you going to give the child to? Because yeah, they know the real father, but he's a bum or he's broke. They're going to choose the man that could give their child a better life. And I know, the righteous people will say, well, she shouldn't have slept. But we're being realistic here. We're being realistic. Women are sleeping with, if they're sleeping with more than one, they're going to give the baby to maybe who has the most money. And that's what it all boils down to, is money. And I honestly, I'm just imagining right now, what if a lady is giving birth down at Victoria Jubilee Hospital, and here comes the father walking up all proud to meet his baby, and then does the test. Like, yes, this law is good, but what happens afterwards? What happens after? How does she go home to this man? Like, what happens when she leaves the hospital? What if the father, starts a ruckus at the hospital, a big brawl? What if he kills her when she goes home? I just don't know. It may be a good thing, but I feel like at the beginning, if this thing ever turns into law, I feel like heads are gonna roll. Heads are gonna roll. I honestly think so. What I do think may happen is that it will deter women from promiscuity, from giving the child to the wrong father. So it may help. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Leave a comment below and let me know.